Hey, welcome to Crucial Conversation Podcast. It is I, Dontay Harris, Mr. AKA Swift, AKA Spider, AKA Mr. Tacoma, because that's how I'm feeling today. But today I'm honored to have one of my good friends on here. I've been knowing this man since like 7th grade. We was playing. My bad. See, he's already wilding out on me. You know what I mean? We're a little hyped up today. We've been postponing this conversation for a while because our schedule was crazy. But I want to say welcome to the Crucial Conversation Podcast, Chris Hyppa.
My man.
What's going on, my guy?
I think I gave you half of those nicknames. Not Swift, but like Spider.
Yeah,
that came though.
Spider. That was downtown Watts the days.
Killer.
Yes.
That came once I saw you had that glazed over, blacked out look in your eyes before games.
Well, you know.
So a couple of those nicknames came directly from you.
Yeah. Killer stuck.
From the heart.
Yeah. Killer stuck. That's the one that didn't go nowhere. Still. People call me Killer. The guys that are walking with me, my guys I'm coaching.
Absolutely.
They were like, coach, why everybody call you Killer? I was like, man, because I was about that life, man, out there. 94 feet, man. It was a Terror Dome, and I loved it.
Yes, sir. It was a blackout.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, man, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since we caught up, so I wanted to catch up on things. So I wanted to start out, first of all, man, how's the family?
Family's good. Got tied up in May. Married up.
Congratulations.
We were supposed to do it in Portugal, and had a big change of plans just because of the corona. And so we did it on Lake Taps on May 23rd.
Yes, indeed.
And so that was probably the highlight of the last 9 months. But besides that, man, just been grinding during this whole thing. It's been different. It's been challenging, but I've actually learned a lot and grown a lot during this time.
Okay, so did you put on weight once you got married? Did that happen to you?
You know what? I put on some weight at the start of Corona just because we were in lockdown. You know, you couldn't go to the gym anymore. And, you know, I think we all thought it was going to happen for like maybe 3 weeks or a month and then we're going to be back.
Yeah.
And so I kind of let my guard down and was eating stuff and having a good time.
Okay, yeah.
Well, once we got the word that things weren't going back to how they used to be, then all of a sudden now we put in a home gym. We got stuff though downstairs. And so I went through like a brief 10 pounds. And 10 pounds though for me is a lot, maybe not for you, but I gained about 10. But it wasn't because I got a ring on my finger. It was because of Corona.
All right.
I was trying to get in shape though because of that.
Yeah, for sure.
You got
to do what you got to do, man. I was just wondering because when I got married, everybody was asking me if I put on weight. I didn't put on anything. I have a hard time putting on weight no matter what I do.
Too much pride in myself to gain like a big time chunk. You know what I mean? Like I'll gain 8 to 10 here and there, but then I'll lose 8 to 10. It just kind of comes in waves.
Okay, for sure.
You know?
For sure. I don't think I could see you being a bigger. You're too active.
I'm a point guard, man. I got to stay slim.
Well, true. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, you know, I've had a couple guys that's played with me, a couple guys that's coached. You know what I mean? I had Mosley on here, Coach Merck.
Yeah, my guy.
Coach Merck. What's up, my guy?
Coach Merck.
Yeah, so, but you, I don't know if you know this, you happen to be my favorite point guard that I played with. I don't know if I've told you, I probably have. But, and it wasn't just because you were a good point guard, but you were a floor general. And also, you kind of can sense when I wanted the ball, and you can sense the momentum of a game. And I think your overall feel for the game kind of worked well with me. You know what I mean? Because when I got hyped up, you was hyped with me.
Right.
And when I calmed down or I needed to calm down, you would calm me down. When it's time to rev up, you would rev up.
It's time to rev it up.
You know what I mean? So you would, and when I started handling the ball, you weren't one of those point guards that came and got the ball back.
Take it.
Hey, look. Hey, for all you point guards, you got a big man that got a handle. Man, if he wants to push it, man, let him run it a little bit. Sometimes they need that to get acclimated in the game. You know what I mean? You got to get your vibe going, you know,
Absolutely.
Bring it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But we used to have a lot of fun. You just flare out to the wing, kick it to the corner. You would just bomb a three on him.
You know me from back in the day. I mean, as much as I wanted to play the point and I was a point guard, I was kind of a combo guard, and I loved to score.
Yeah.
So if I was playing with a good point guard, I had no problem sliding to the wing. But if I was the only one on the floor that could be the point guard, I was going to be the point guard. And once you learn how to take the ball off the glass and now bring it, we got 4 guys on the wing now, and then you learn how to pass the ball. I mean, I'm happy to slide to the wing and shoot.
Yes, indeed.
But I'll play my role as the point if I got 4 guys around me that want the ball.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
So, and you talked about flow. And we talked about being a coach on the floor. You could sense like the momentum and the waves of the game. So I knew, just like you're saying, okay, Tay, we got to turn it up now. And I knew the things that I could say to you to get you locked back into that kill zone to where we could go for like 3 minutes and halftime.
Yeah, yeah,
And now
yeah.
you can go calm it back down for a second.
Calm
because
down.
you can't play like that for the whole game. You got to turn it on and off. And I feel like I've always had, a good feeling being able to do that with everybody on the floor.
Yes, indeed.
Being able to pump the group up, being able to get one guy going, being able to get this guy going, being able to calm this guy down. But that is your job as a point guard, not only being able to call the plays and run sets, but being able to feel what everybody else is feeling to get them on the same page.
Yeah, that's knowledge right there, man.
But a lot of it's feel, though. It's feel.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think you can teach that.
No, you got to be playing the game.
That comes from being involved in the game from a young age, watching the game, seeing the game, playing the game, failing, succeeding, and then eventually you just get to the point where you know how to push everybody's button to get them going.
Yeah, you evolve into that type of basketball player.
And now you do that as a coach.
Oh, yes,
it's
indeed.
the exact same thing,
It's
but
the
you're
same
doing
thing.
it now with younger men.
Yeah.
You're trying to get them to learn how to do it.
Yeah, and once I learned that and I started adapting to that, I think that's the reason why I didn't get directly into coaching when I first stopped playing basketball.
Right, because it was still on.
I was still
Right.
just, you know what I mean? So what I had to do was learn how to tone it down, and then I had to come up with the proper schemes and stuff to implement it to the kids and tell them how I felt about things and show them things and come up with my own style. I had some great coaches.
Right.
And so I just picked from all of them. I picked from Percy Carr. I picked from Mullen. I picked from Drink Wine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Temperament, though, is huge.
Yeah. So I just picked from them guys, and I provide my energy.
Yep.
So I'm still evolving that coach thing.
I mean, you always
still
will,
evolving.
too.
I'm trying to
Always.
evolve every day and everything.
And
you know
because
what I mean?
the kids though that you coach though are not going to be the same every year. Every single year they're going to be different.
It's going to change.
So it's
Yeah.
going to take different things that you're going to need to do with each kid. As long as you're fair with them, it's all good. But you can't treat them all the same. You just got to be fair. But every kid though is different as far as how you turn them on and off.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's crazy. But
man.
that's the fun thing about it is getting them to learn how to press that button by themselves. You've done your job then.
Man, it's a beautiful.
You've done your job
It's
then.
beautiful when you see it happen. You know what I mean? When you see
Yep.
it happen, you see a kid go into that next level, that next phase of
Mentally.
their game mentally is way more than, me teaching them a move.
Absolutely.
And him doing the move. I'm like, okay, he did that right.
Right.
I kind of just nod that off. But when you see him click in and everything slows down for him and you see that moment on the court and you see him all the way there, man, that is an exciting moment.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I live for that.
Ours came, I would say, probably like early 20s.
Yeah.
Like when I got done playing at St. Martin's is like when it finally started to click. Like when the physical and the mental met. And then from there it went for about a good 10 years. And I call that my prime.
Yeah.
Like 24 for the next 10 years, that's when like everything, the game slowed down. I felt strong. I felt mentally there. I felt like you put me on any court and I'm going to be able to play.
Yeah, definitely. And
Any court.
Yeah, and that's crazy how it happens. For me, it happened about 22. About 22. I think when I was over in Norway, it really started clicking in.
Right.
Because up until then, I was just an energy guy, period. I got overseas, and they was like, here's the ball.
You're like, now I got to score. Now
I got
do
to
something
score with it. I got to score. I'm not just rebounding. I'm not just locking down the other team's best guy, guard
Right.
or forward. It didn't matter. But now I have to bring a different level. So I had to basically I turned back into a point guard.
Right.
So like I reverted all the way back to Al Davies.
Yep.
And I had to figure it out again. It came pretty natural. It happened pretty fast because, I was always a guy that liked sharing the ball anyway. I wasn't I didn't take loads of shots, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was easy for me to adapt like that, but that's when it started slowing down for me. Then when I came back home, it was just a field day.
Well, then all of us were done playing at the same time.
And then we
And
was
we
like, let's
weren't
do
done
it.
playing. Like we wanted to keep on playing. That's all we knew.
Competitive.
But that's all we knew, though.
Yeah,
like
we
I didn't want to
compete.
let go of like the dream. I got done playing at St. Martin's, and I mean everybody wants to go to the league or go overseas.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to stop playing.
Uh-huh.
Like some people will just jump right into going to work 9 to 5. Like I didn't. I wanted to go to the YMCA and run hills and hoop and lift weights and go to late night still. I didn't know what else
Wanted
to
to
do.
hoop.
Like it took me a while
Wanted
to
to
get into
hoop.
that next phase. You know what I mean? So-
wanted to hoop. Yeah, I mean, and all of us kind of clicked together and all just kept hooping for that. And those teams, those were the early Thunder teams. I mean, actually, it was the Venom team.
Traveling, but the Venom team was
Big Lou.
That,
You know what I'm saying?
The,
And
mesh
then-
black and white jerseys.
Yes, before the Thunder.
Having practices just to have practice.
Just to do it.
Like-
we just calling each other out.
like,
"Low."
man, we got practice
And we're going
tonight.
to practice.
And we're running lines and running sets and doing blockout drills, and then we're scrimmaging.
Yeah,
and
everything. Going to go hit them tournaments. That's when we
that's
went
wild.
out to Montana, Anaconda. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good tournament.
Good stories, man.
Yeah, that was great times, man. But I mentioned Al Davies.
Yep.
When I quit with Al Davies, you played for
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Yep,
I remember the red jerseys.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's when I first seen you play, and I just remember you having the nice the handle was crazy, and you used to shoot this floater. Before people was really shooting floaters, Hyppa was shooting floaters in sixth grade, like to the ceiling, just.
I got that from Chris Jackson that played at LSU.
Is that where it came
Back
from?
in the day, he was so nasty, and he would do different things. And like back then, you really didn't see him a lot. But I mean, floaters and going to the basket against bigger dudes. I mean, if you didn't figure out that was an option that you had, you were getting your shot blocked. I mean, you weren't getting to the paint. You weren't going to score against guys that were bigger.
Yeah,
I remember the one that I did against Mount T.
Yeah,
and obviously that's kind of like fast forwarded, but that was I remember we played on like a Wednesday at like noon because our game had got snowed out.
Yep.
And I remember we played, and I remember everybody was there. Fossil was there. Wilson though was there watching B Prep. I mean, every team though came to watch our game. You guys were smacking us by like 20. We went on like a 20-0 run like late in the game. You guys still won by 4, but I remember I went like baseline. Matt like slid over, and I threw up the teardrop and just hit it. And I was like, damn.
It was the nastiest
and
shot.
it wasn't a shot that I practiced. It was just like it had to go up right there else he was beating it in the crowd.
There was no way you were getting that off without shooting it.
Not
like
at all.
that.
Not against Matt. Matt's 6'10".
Yeah, so if Matt McDonald, what's up, my guy? He lives down in Arizona right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see him when I go to
Matt's
Vegas.
my guy,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Matt was 6'10" and pretty athletic. You know what I mean? He can get up. So he was 6'10".
And 6'10" with long arms, man.
Arms.
Long
he used to beat stuff up. So we enjoyed it. I loved
didn't get
having
mine
him.
that time. He didn't get mine.
He was trying to get you. He was trying to get
always,
it. He
always.
jumps. He was up there. I seen
yeah.
it go up. I was like, Matt got that. And it just kept going up. And it just dropped bottom. But I wanted to go to Al Davies and Red Robin because at Al Davies, a lot of those guys I still talk to occasionally when I see them. There's a love there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Hilltop Babies.
Yeah.
We still got pride in that team.
Absolutely.
And the best player on that team was a guy named Billy Brady.
Ooh, wait.
And when people talk about basketball in our area, I don't think Billy Brady's name doesn't get brought up enough. I want your thoughts on Billy Brady.
I mean, and the reason why it doesn't get brought up enough is because it died at an early age. It never really fulfilled what it was supposed to fulfill. But, I mean, not very often do you get a 14-year-old freshman to play City League basketball here and start and average like 18 points a game as a 14-year-old. At that age, I was playing JV, splitting, playing both, sitting on the bench watching him play.
Yeah.
So, and that was a dude that we played against, though, all the way from being kids all the way up into 8th grade. But being able to step into a game and have polished game, pull-ups, hitting threes at 14, at 6'3", getting to the key, dunking, there's no telling what he could have done.
Yeah.
And the legend of him will probably grow, and he'll be talked about forever. But the reason why we don't talk about him enough is because it never went past that, 14, 15. That's where it ended. And obviously there's stuff that he got into. But, man, at an early age, you just don't see a lot of 14-year-olds being able to start in big-time games and have an impact.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'm sitting there, playing on the same team as Billy Brady, watching his game and seeing some of the things that he was doing when he was 13, 14
Right.
years old. I still never seen a kid do. I mean, I'm not talking about just going out there just flat out gunning. I'm talking about he's one man destroying whole teams by himself. He had a handle.
Yep,
he could shoot the 3 ball. He was shooting from 30 before anybody, that Steph Curry stuff. He's a young boy shooting from anywhere.
Get to the cup.
He can get to the cup.
Talking shit.
Yeah, he was at your neck.
Yep.
Don't get dunked on. He'll bang on you too. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. So I just wanted to ask you about that because
much respect though for him, and I always did. And we always when we would go to the YMCA and play, and we'd be on the same team. The game was easy. That's where I learned how to be a point guard, is having guys like that around me at a young age, and just learning how to feed them the ball.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to win.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
And if he has the ball, we're going to win.
Oh, yeah.
I got to play my part, but my job, just get the ball to guys and let's just go win. And so, I learned how to be a point guard because I wanted to win.
I think playing beside Billy Brady at a young age made everybody a point guard. You know what I mean? I was a point guard because I had Billy Brady.
Here, Billy.
Here. Who else was on that team? Sterling was on that team. My guy Mookie was on the team. I know he watches the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we fed him, but we had some guys that like getting down and playing some good defense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It was that Al Davies basketball for sure.
Man, those leagues back in the day were so nice because there's no AAU. It was just neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You played against the South End, the East Side. You had Al Davies. You had the North End with the Red Robin. everybody was playing against everybody. Now you got like kids leaving and they don't ever play against each other.
Yeah, they're all going. Yeah, it's not even neighborhoods. It's like people are going all over the place, different cities.
But I mean, like Saturday morning at the East Side Boys Club, and you got South End playing East Side. That whole gym was packed.
Yeah,
out.
yeah, everybody's there.
That whole gym was packed.
Everybody's there.
So like that's one thing that I miss about the town is just like having all these young kids growing up playing against each other.
We definitely need to get back to that.
Oh, that would be nice though to just create that 6th through 8th grade youth Tacoma League.
Yes, it would be. It would be like a hoop life type of thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So let's put that on there for like 2021 post Corona.
Let's figure something out.
Something.
Just gym. I mean, access to the gyms. That's all we need. Pretty sure we could figure that out. We could figure that out as soon as this Corona thing dies out, and then we can try to get those just some solid squads. It doesn't have to be a bunch of squads, but it just be like 4 or 5 teams.
But all from Tacoma.
All right here, and get them boys playing.
All from Tacoma.
You know what I mean?
Get an East Side team, get a South End team. Like we should almost like group it like that to where we have like 5 separate teams.
Yeah.
You can try out for your team. 5 teams.
And get it in.
5 teams.
Get it in. Get it going. See if we can get it riled up again.
Skill development on the side.
Yeah. Games going. You know what I mean?
That's a whole different talk. That's a whole different talk, man.
For sure. Let's get into. I want to say first of all, man. Years ago, I was at a different job before I changed careers also. Mm-hmm. We were talking on the phone. He was like, I want to do a basketball camp. And I was like, you was like, Tay, we should do a camp, killer. I was like, yeah, we should. You know what I mean? And we talked about it. Then I kind of died off, and then you went ahead and did the camp. Then I seen you do another one. Mm-hmm. And then I remember talking to you again. And you was like, man, I think I'm going to do this. I was like, okay, do your thing. You know what I mean? Go do your thing. And from there, which that was maybe 10 years ago.
It was probably like around 2008, 2009.
Yeah, it was definitely a while ago.
And it goes even deeper though before that. But
that, I mean, that was when I want to start there because I seen you go after your goal, and you have a dream, and then have goals to get to your dream, and then start attacking that. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that? Because I don't think everybody really understands what you've went through to get to where you're at right now, and you're still going.
I was thinking about this though today too, because there's a lot of people here in town that do a great job training. They do an excellent job.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they understand like what it takes to run like a successful business, to do it like that. Like anybody, I'm not saying like that, but like you can get 5 to 6 kids in a gym and go do a good job to train them.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, okay? So when I started this up, it was more for me than it was for the kids. You know what I mean? Like basketball, and I was talking about this the other day, basketball, that's why you and me, though, we vibe so well, is because we have a lot of the same passion. And basketball, it really did save our lives.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Like basketball is not basketball to the typical Joe that's out there. Like I don't play basketball because it's a joy and it's fun. I do it though because of that.
Because it's a joy and fun, right? But it has a whole different situation in life.
Basketball has been like my safe space. That when I go there, like nothing else matters outside the lines. Like what's going on with my mom and dad splitting up, what's going on with this, all the bad things in my life. When I get on the floor, they're gone. When I walk in that gym and I smell that hardwood and I have a ball in my hand, nothing else, that's the most important thing, still to this day. So, rewind it all the way till I was a young kid and I can go play basketball. I loved doing it because it took me away from everyday life. Everybody's going through something still to this day, and everybody will continue going through something. But being on the floor, though, it erased it all. It allowed me to just go have fun and play basketball and compete for 2 hours, 3 hours. And then when I stepped off, then I realized, okay, this stuff isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take a break and I'm going back. You know what I mean? So it's just like this. I started doing basketball training, not necessarily for the kids. Like I wanted to help them and I wanted to give them information. And I wanted to help them improve, but I was doing it for myself.
Okay.
It gave me almost an excuse to continue on with basketball where some people had said it's time to go get a real job.
Yes, indeed.
I can go train and I can still feel like I had an impact and I fed myself.
Yeah, you were feeling great afterwards.
I fed myself, you know what I mean? And I made this dude, improve.
Yes, indeed.
But I fed myself, and then through time, and I have a hustler's mindset. Being from the town, I sold cinnamon sticks and baseball cards and shoes, and I'll sell you anything. Once I felt that I could start getting paid to do this, I started hustling the business of training basketball players, how much it was going to be per hour, how many kids do I have to have in a session where I can make the most of it, and it turned into a business now. And so it's just like the business aspect of like taking a hustler's mindset and being able to now put it professionally with basketball skill development. It still serves more me than it does the kids still, and I'm getting paid now. But it is more than just basketball skill development. It goes way deeper than that, and it like feeds my soul, and it keeps me alive and keeps me happy and keeps me still in my safe place.
See, that's and exactly.
People don't understand that, man.
No,
Like,
I think a lot of people aren't understanding that basketball is your sanctuary. You know what I mean? And so if you can be in this sanctuary, and then you can thrive in that sanctuary, and you can pay your bills, and why wouldn't you leave there? Why would you leave from there? That is what most people are looking for.
Facts.
That's what most people, you want to be able to go to work somewhere where you love. They've been saying that and telling us that all their life. So to see you do that is a beautiful thing. And I'm happy that you're at peace with that. And the fact that you're going to continue to grow because you have that hustler's mindset and grow basketball wise there's nowhere to go. Like for me, I was like, there's nowhere for me to go. And yes, I do other things, man. I write poetry, I do spoken word, you know what I mean? I have a studio or whatnot, but basketball has a certain place. Like you said, it actually did save my life.
Absolutely,
literally.
Facts.
And so when I get with people that feel that same way, we definitely have a bond. And truthfully, most of the people I have a real close bond with was inside that sanctuary.
The sanctuary, man.
Inside that sanctuary where the emotions was raw, and you can really feel the pain and you can feel the happiness, and you can go through those emotional roller coasters. That right there it affects me. And then when you share that with somebody and you get on that level, then it's like a bond that they already, you know it.
You already know it. You know what I mean?
I'm saying?
And being up in there too, though, that's one place though that the only reason or the only way that you're being judged is by your game. So in the real world, you might be judged, though, for the clothes that you're wearing. You might be judged for your house life. You might be judged. There's so many different things that you can be judged for.
Yeah.
When we step here, if I don't have game, then obviously I'm being judged for that. But if I have game, though, it's putting you on a different step that I wasn't on outside.
Outside of here.
So this created like my reputation inside of here, and then it carried outside.
Yes.
But my reputation, though, was earned inside the basketball floor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, when people, for the most part, speak of your name or when they speak of my name, it's not linked to something, for the most part, that we did outside the basketball floor.
No.
Our reputation is built off of what we have done inside of basketball and for basketball.
Yes, definitely.
So,
and that's what it is. But it should be, because that's where the passion lies. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. I'm happy that you came on here, because I hear a lot of back talk about training here, training there, and I know it can be competitive. We come from a competitive nature.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I just kind of let it slide and go by the wayside or whatever. But I don't think everybody understands the passion that you actually have for the game.
Right.
Like, I know you have the passion for the game.
Yeah, of course.
So when people see the business side, they was like, he's out here chasing the dollar. And like, no, this is what he does with his life. This is life.
Right. Well, and I think that people get upset, though, because the people that say, why are you charging to do this? They're almost like telling on themselves, though, saying that I'm jealous that I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So take it how you want. You know what I mean? It's just that just because my hustle is making you feel a certain type of way, maybe you should start doing it. I mean, come join or come start your own thing, or what do you got going on? And so, like, when I hear a lot of back talk, it's from people that aren't doing it that would love to be doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, and like I said, when I was doing it back in the day, though, when I first got paid, I never knew or never even thought about it would come to this point. I never thought that I would be traveling to China and Italy and France to run basketball camps and to inspire players all over the world. I never thought it would get to that point. I was doing it for myself.
That's the beautiful thing in it.
And it has evolved into this. And, like, there wasn't a 5-year plan. There wasn't a 10-year plan. There wasn't even a business plan. Still to this day, there's not been a business plan. Everything is acted off of being genuine and authentic as far as what I post, what I do. It comes from right here.
Yeah.
Period.
It's an energy.
Period.
It's an energy.
Period.
And you followed it.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? It's an energy. That happens.
Yep. Period.
It happens, man. That's the energy. And you following things that happen that way. Things happen that way.
Be genuine.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's how it goes down, man. Hey, the Tacoma Stars hat is hard.
You like that? Hey, the thing
That's
about
hard.
it is I was like, man, I got to wear it today.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
hard.
wear it today.
I
Gotta
like
wear it
that.
today. This is old school Preki Steve Zungel.
Man,
You guys don't even know about
they
that.
don't know about-
Google it.
Yeah, Preki was hard.
Google it. This
Hey,
isn't the Stars that's playing in Kent. This is the Stars that was playing at the Dome.
Yeah.
And getting like 14,000 people. Google it.
Man, they had the Tacoma Dome jerseys.
Google
though.
it. They had the dome up top with
Yeah.
the orange and the. Oh man.
It was
So
crazy.
this right here. This
Yeah.
is Google it.
Google that. Yeah. That's when they had the Tacoma Tigers.
Man.
Yeah.
With the green, like the Oakland A's.
Yeah, and they used to bring the tickets to the boys' club.
Free.
Free tickets.
Come watch the game. They used to be at the Fred Meyer across the street. Like you used to buy groceries.
Yeah.
A stack of tickets.
Yeah, you can go to the game.
When we went every home game.
They need to run that back.
I'd be there from like 3:00 to 9.
Yeah, that needs to all be ran back.
It does,
Well,
but
that's-
everything now about the dollar.
Everything.
Everything about
We
the
got to
dollar.
figure something out with that.
Well, that's why we're going to start this league.
And then we got to figure something
There's a
out.
lot of stuff that I want to do.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of stuff.
This podcast is just it kind of not fell in my lap, but it was my brother who passed, Aaron, was going to start a podcast, asked me to get on. He's more of a comedian type.
Right. Oh,
You
yeah,
know
always
what I
has
mean?
been.
Yeah, so he's a joker. So I was
Right.
like, cool, I'll get on there and laugh with you, and we'll get
yeah.
serious. He passed, of course, and then I'm like, our last couple messages was about podcasting and about
Right.
getting into writing. You know what I mean? So I continued there. So I end up here. So we on episode 9. And I'm just trying to grow with it, but I'm following the energy.
Man, that's what you got to do. 100%, man.
Hey, this is straight freestyle.
Yeah,
man.
it's more
This is
raw. You know what I
freestyle,
mean? And
man.
like
I
the
don't
thing
even
about it
know.
is though, with like him when he passed, like sometimes it takes something, and we would never want to do it though because of that. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the worst case.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes it takes certain things, and I know that you've been seeing like AIM all over the place now.
Oh, yeah.
You just see it now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's crazy how it took something. And imagine if we could push things forward though without having things to happen to finally be like, all right, now I got to do it.
And see, that's the thing, and that's the thing that I'm trying. I've already started moving forward on everything that I do is because of that. Is now that I realize, man, this time that we have here is limited. I don't know
Right.
when I'm going to go, but I'm about to give it my all.
You might as well.
You know what I'm saying? So I wake up and put my best foot forward, you know what I mean, every day, every
Right.
morning, and come with a certain type of energy that I try to infect people with
Yep.
off top, you know what I mean, and just living that way and just trying to move forward and create some positive things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Try to
yeah.
erase all negative. If you got negative, I don't want to hear it. Don't want
Right.
to be around it.
And I already know, like me, like you're doing this though too for yourself.
Oh,
like
no.
this is like for yourself. Like when you walk out of here after having like an hour long talk, you feel good.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? So
Yes,
it's like
indeed.
it's soothing for everybody.
Oh,
just
man.
to talk about stuff though, but for you though, this is for you, for others.
Yes, indeed. That's how it works. I mean,
Right.
that's how the coaching is.
Yep, same thing.
You know, when I go in there and it's game time, and we're out there playing in the game, and I'm coaching, and I'm running up and down the sidelines. After that game's over, it's like I played, like that
Absolutely.
energy and that release, because I'm in my world. Because I'm a natural introvert, you know what I mean? So, but
Same.
you walk into a gym, I'm in my world.
Same.
I'm the most comfortable
I've always
person.
said that. I've always
As soon as
said
I walk
that.
in the gym, yeah, I can talk to anybody.
I'm myself now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, this is
myself.
me. This is
my
my
true
world
self.
here.
I'm my
yeah.
true self.
Yeah, you want to really meet me, come to the gym. We're
Yep,
there.
Facts.
Yeah, we're there. You know what I mean? So, and so that's why I identified when you were talking about how you started off and it was about you. I mean, and that's what coaching was for me. You know what I mean? And even so, like I got a quote that I say, man, I'm just trying to be me for me when I needed me. Because of that, I always thought, like when I was younger, I just needed somebody to just snatch me up and be like, look, snap into reality. No one's coming to save you from this pit you in.
Yep.
Kid. You know, if someone would have grabbed me at 11, like, look, man, you in the pit. Everybody's gone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're sitting up here soaking. You act like you don't want to be here. There's nothing anyone's gonna do. You got to get up, and you got to face this.
Right.
And you got to start fighting for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to love yourself. You got to start taking care of yourself. You got to live for a reason. Create something. Start moving forward. Start looking up. Stop walking with your head down. Start having some confidence. See, I didn't have nobody to say that to me, so I sat there and I soaked in it. I started coming out of it as I got into high school because of the fact where I moved to my last place, that 14,
Right.
when I moved to the east side. You know what I mean? So that started changing because I had people that actually just let me breathe. They really didn't. They did the best job of having a foster house with just letting me breathe. I got there and they was like, look, their food's right there, your room's right there.
Now you can kind of learn how to operate a little bit.
What are you going to do?
Right.
You good.
And then basketball was starting to kick in,
and then
starting to pick up
basketball,
steam.
yeah. I still love hoop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just playing hoop and I'm doing my thing that way. But I mean, first time they took me to go school shopping, I didn't know how to shop.
I've never done this before.
What do you mean school shopping?
Right.
Yeah, go pick something. I'm looking in there.
You don't even know what to grab.
Yeah, I'm looking at my brother Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? I just met him.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's my
yeah.
foster brother. I just met him a couple months ago. He's just grabbing stuff, and I'm looking like, yo, man. He was like, man, grab you some of these, throw it with that over there. You know what I'm saying? And put that. I'm like, oh, we just grab clothes? You know what I'm saying? So that experience started changing me then.
Right.
But I was still an introvert, and I still didn't have no confidence in myself. So I just pretended to be somebody else. And as I got older, then things start changing. And that's when a lot of people that were so-called friends kind of start dying off because I started becoming myself. So stuff I didn't like, I just started telling, hey, look, man, I'm not with that.
Right.
It's not how I get down. You do whatever you're going to do. So I start going on Tay's way, you know, what my wife calls Tayisms. You know what I mean? I start doing Dontay things. And for a while, I was like, I don't know, but I feel better about myself when I just listen to what Dontay's thinking and I follow my heart instead of not with groups.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I was already uncomfortable with groups, so
Right.
I mean, following the group doesn't work either.
Right,
So I
exactly.
don't want to be in a group. I don't want to follow a group. I don't want to be told what to do. I want to
me.
get out here. I'm gonna just do me.
Yep.
But in terms of that, then I love being in that sanctuary. You put me on a team, I'm riding for my squad.
Absolutely, 100%.
On that court, yeah,
Right.
I'll ride for you. But as soon as
Yep.
you walk off the court, I'm going into my world again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the whole process of that is kind of like even doing this podcast is me coming out of my shell and facing that fear.
And starting to learn how to like tell the story.
Yeah.
I think all of us, there's so much like when we can get to the point though where we can fully be able to tell our story is when we start to being able to get more peace with ourselves.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? Like we're still not all the way there.
Yeah,
you know
we're
what I mean?
working
But
on it.
once we can learn how to tell our story with conviction
Yeah.
and not like sugarcoat it or tell the raw story,
Yeah.
that's when we can find peace in ourselves.
And that's where I'm going.
Right, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that happen in both of our lives though as kids that aren't things you want to advertise.
No.
Aren't things you want to talk about, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the more and more you can talk about it, you'll start to realize that there's a lot of kids going through exactly what you went through.
And that right there is my driving force.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I'm opening it up more and more as we keep going with the podcast. And I'm opening up more and more and talking to people. Because even my mom, before she passed, she said, you gotta come out and start talking because there's so many kids like you.
And that's wisdom.
And there's no voice.
Right, yep.
There's no voice. You need to go. You
Yep.
need to come out your shit and you need to go.
Yep.
You need to start. Don't worry about it. You will be fine. You're strong enough to take any criticism when it comes back your way. You need to go do this.
Yep.
And like the process, her words, she said your words need to come out. So I was mentally thinking I need to do an album. And I went to write an album and didn't really come out. I went to
Right.
write poetry. And then, I'm thinking about Aaron. So then the
Conversation.
podcast, boom. And then I was like, Crucial Conversations.
I mean, you think about how many times though we've gotten deep into conversations over the years
Yeah.
just because we were the last one standing at 2 a.m. and we're sitting on the couch and just like these conversations naturally would come out.
Yeah.
Because we are trying, because they need to be heard.
Yes.
Like we need to get them out of us. And I mean, if I'm telling you, I at least need to get them out.
Yeah.
And then from that, you might be able to give me something to bring more of it out. And it's just like the more and more we can talk about it, the more and more, like I said, that we can get to peace though with ourselves and be able to help others.
And it's about that adjustment, about getting that out. Once you start getting that out, you kind of feel that
weight leave.
it leaves, and then it opens you up to receive more,
Yep,
to receive
yep.
and to gain more knowledge. You know what I
Right.
mean? Kind of open up your guard comes down to where it should be, to where the wall comes down a little bit.
Right,
To
yeah.
survive in the situation that you and I both went through as kids.
Right.
You had to build some type of wall.
You had to.
There's a barrier
Right,
that you
right,
got to
right.
get through, but
Right.
as being adults and you're coming out here and you're trying to help people, you got to bring down your wall.
Right.
So you can say, it's okay. I went through that. It's okay. I'm here. I'm present. I went through that. And you've gone through it right now. You can survive and you can get to where I'm at or even be on a higher level. But just surviving in it is one thing. But thriving in it is where we need to be.
But just think about it though, and we are two stories though of people that have made it out and being able to talk about it. There's a lot of kids that don't have like that fortitude inside of them because nobody did help us through that back in the day. Like we had to figure it out for the most part on the fly.
Yeah.
And that's why basketball did give us a backbone. You know what I mean? Without
Yeah.
basketball now, you're in a different world of like we grew up in the height of like gangs and obviously you were involved to a certain extent.
Yeah.
but there was no backbone if there's not basketball. So there leaves a lot more room to be able to get into drugs and alcohol and the whole different world of not doing things well,
Yes,
not doing good. And so the fortitude that we had, like somebody had to install that in us at a certain extent, or somehow though we grasped it. But there's a lot of kids that don't have that, and they're in the same exact spots as us, and they're putting up the walls. But now they want to be associated with a group because it makes them feel a part of something.
Yes.
And they don't have like that faith or like that feeling comfortable to just go walk alone and figure it out as I go.
Yeah. And I mean, when you're looking at that and like thinking about it, I'm sitting there, and this is the reason why sports are important. That reason right there, because
The backbone.
it gives you a backbone, especially when you're younger. If you're involved in sports, you might not be good, but involved in sports gets you involved with teammates
And people.
and people. So you got to react. You feel a part of something.
Yep.
You're part of a group. So people that need that, they can get in a group, and I think that's why it's important for youth to be involved in sports, not just
Right.
basketball, but
Right.
everything.
Yep.
I think that's why. I mean, when this Corona thing happens, like.
Man.
I think it's really the youth are suffering. I mean, as adults, we're worrying about our pockets, so we hustling, trying to get our money.
Right.
But the kids are suffering. Like
man.
they're learning. They're not talking. They're learning on the computer. You know, I got my kids at the house. They're on the computer. They're not excited about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they're doing well in school.
Right, well, yeah, exactly. Like the
But they're
school
sitting
parties,
at home.
they're
They're not
sitting at home,
doing.
right.
They're not having
Missing the
having interactions.
Right, the interactions, man. That's why Jeff's been trying to do a lot of free Zooms, to where kids at least they can log in and get a workout in. It's at least free, and it gives them something to look like forward to. Like I have a Zoom on Sunday that's just like free.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I
Come work
reposted
out.
that.
You know what I
Y'all
mean?
make
It's
sure
just
y'all.
man, it's just.
Where you posted? Where's that? We gotta make
That's
sure
been
people
on my
get to that.
Instagram and on my Facebook, but
Okay.
we're doing a free Zoom on Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Y'all make sure y'all get to that, man.
We had
Everybody wanna
100
get a
players
workout.
last time, and we had like 75 players that couldn't get in because it only allows 100 players in it.
Oh.
And I wish that I could do more, but the way the Zoom is just like you can only have 100 in your group.
Oh, okay. That's
So
what's
get
up.
there
That's a lot.
early if you're going to be on it. I mean, it's on my stuff, but I mean, it's just like trying to give more structure to these kids because they don't really have a lot of it right now.
Yeah, you give them something they can take away. They can take that with them after being on the free Zoom. They can go do those same exact workouts and work on their game.
Just go get some exercise,
Yeah.
and like I'll give you like some word. I'll give you like a message of what's on my mind at that time. Take it. It'll hit some. It won't with others, but it's just like here it is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Sure. What about? So now we're talking about exercise.
Yeah.
What's up with the weight? What's up with the ball? I know where it started.
I mean, man.
I know where it started.
And you've used it before.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a 3-pound heavy ball that I've just created with Sterling. Okay, it's a 3-pound. There's a youth size and also a men's size. And it's 3 pounds, and it'll obviously help you though. Gain strength in your hands, quickness. You have a real basketball back in your hand, and it feels super light. Okay, so this goes back to maybe 1992, 93. Why do you lift weights? You lift weights because you want to get stronger. You run up a hill, so when you get on the floor, you're faster.
Yeah.
So I felt if I could have a 5-pound ball in my hand, then this ball is going to feel super light. There wasn't any type of medicine ball, basketball you could dribble back in the day. So we used to use 9-pound med balls.
Yeah.
The black and blue balls, they would tear up your hands. But after dribbling a 9-pound ball for 5 minutes, go put a real basketball in your hand, and it's instant confidence. You will feel an instant difference in what the ball feels like.
Yeah.
And so I started to experiment with that stuff at the racquetball courts at the downtown YMCA, and I would go in there probably 3-4 times a week, pass the ball off the ball with my right hand with my left hand, chest passes, post entries, doing breakdown moves with the 9-pound ball, and then go out and play. And so then as I started to train and as I started to work though with certain players, I would start sharing it.
Yeah.
Hey man, bounce this ball for 5 minutes. And then you'd look at me like, damn. And so I've already turned you on, though, to the impact that a heavy ball can have on your handles.
Yes.
We did a lot of ball handling stuff. We didn't do a lot of drills, though, but I would always encourage you to, dribble more.
Yeah.
And I would guard you and make you bring the ball up
No, the
against me.
full
But,
court one-on-one.
man, the full court one-on-one. But the heavy ball in
Crazy.
itself, though, I took the impact that it had on me as a young kid, being able to bounce a 9-pound med ball, and I've kind of spun it to the point, though, where now we have a 3-pound basketball that feels like a real basketball, that has a 3-pound core in it, that'll help your handle. And it's just I wanted to have the exact same impact that it had on me like it does, and it can impact a lot of kids though, just by having one 3-pound basketball and seeing how it can change your handle. It might help them fall in love with the game of basketball. Who knows what it's going to do, but it's going to at least give them an option to explore.
Okay, definitely. And they can find that. You got that post on your Instagram.
That one's on my Instagram, yeah.
I'll repost it on Crucial Conversation Instagram also when we get done with here. I think I've already posted it, but I'll make sure I do that again.
They'll be shipped in like the next week or something like that, though. They're coming over on a big boat from China.
Oh, yeah. They told me January.
We did that because we didn't want to overpromise.
Oh, okay.
There might be delays. I think it should be here before Christmas.
Okay.
Like it'll be at your house.
All right.
But we just didn't want to like promise like it'll be before. Then you get it. Just
Yeah.
January 8th.
January works.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Well, shoot.
We're on a timer, huh?
Yeah. We already went past that.
He
could have banged on the window.
Well, then let's keep on
there?
spitting. We can keep on spitting then.
Well, I tried to look, man.
I mean, you and me could sit in here, man, for 3 hours, 2-3 hours, and just get lost in crucial conversation.
Oh, for sure. We can talk about them van rides.
I mean,
Well, we can.
we can, but we can't. You know what I mean?
But we can't. That's kind of like Vegas, right?
I mean, man, there's just, I can talk about you for a second, man. It's just
What you talking about?
we met in 6th grade in science class, and I remember you were probably in class for it was Miss Starks at Hunt. In 6th grade, they had like the seats like set up to where you had two at a group, right? So I sat down, you sat down. We were dissecting worms. And then that was the last day I ever saw you for maybe like 3 years. Like you transferred maybe like the next day. Like you were out. Like you were my friend for a day. Like we met. Like we had a great time in class.
Yeah.
We were laughing, clowning.
Switch
First time that we ever met. You know what I mean? We didn't even talk nothing about basketball. We just vibed.
Yeah.
And then you left and you went to a different school.
Yeah.
And then I remember just like seeing you throughout the years. You know what I mean? Then like seeing you at Mount Tahoma. We still weren't even like great friends at that time, but we always had like a love and a respect for each other because of like we met that one time and we had a foundation.
Yeah.
We reconnected after college, and that's when like the relationship really started vibing because of the passion that we both had for the game. You know what I mean? And I've told you this though before, but I'm super proud of you, man. As far as because what's happened in your life and what you went through, you weren't supposed to be here. You were not supposed to be right here to tell the story of what you went through. You know what I'm saying? So like being able to be here with the stuff that you've went through the ups and the downs. Like I'm super proud of you for having like that, just that fortitude of like being stronger than your demons. You've always been stronger than them. They've tried to fight you. They've tried to get you, but you've always been stronger than them. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's love. And like we talked about giving people flowers. You know what I mean? It's just like you need to hear that. But I'm super proud of like what you went through to be able to get to this point to where you, for the most part, your hardest days are behind you.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? So
appreciate that, man. Much love for sure, man. Appreciate that. I'm out here trying to get it done.
And that's off the top of the head too, man. That's not scripted, man. That's love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate that, man. That's what I'm saying. I think I made a post the other day, alive for a reason. And sometimes I forget. Then I remember something that a lot of things that I suppressed in my memory because of the traumatic things. You know, you suppress it, put it back. One thing about getting clarity and stop drinking is that I lived in the fog to suppress those things. Once I stopped drinking, certain things trigger it, and I'll remember, boom, I'll remember 11th grade. I'll remember 11-year-old. I remember 12 where I was sitting outside and it's raining and I have nowhere to go.
Right.
And it's Safeway, and I'm just wishing an adult would at least just say something to me while I'm sitting out there in the rain. You know, people just walking over me, going to their cars with nowhere to sleep. You know what I mean? So I remember those days, and it brings like a certain type of pain and, you know, almost tears to my eyes. And then I realize like where I'm at.
Like I'm not there no more.
I realize where I'm at. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's crazy, and it's not done.
No.
And that's how I know.
Right.
That's how I know. And
just
I've
getting started.
been following this energy, and like I was talking to my cousin, and I told her straight up, one thing about numbing all that is that I numbed all those emotions because I'm a really emotional person, and I numbed those emotions by and hiding them and masking them. That now this clarity is coming, those emotions are out there. I can now feel things again that I was running from that I couldn't tolerate or deal with as a kid.
Right. Yeah.
Now I'm enjoying it. Like, yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm taking in all this. Yeah, I can feel your energy when I
Right,
walk
right,
into a
right.
room.
Right.
I can vibe with this. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
When I feel tension from you, I'm gonna say something to you. You
Right.
all right? What's going on?
Yep,
I feel
yep.
certain. I can hold these conversations now.
Right.
So my life experiences brought me to the person I am, and then I already know what's going on. I'm gonna follow this energy and see where this path takes me. You know what I'm saying? So I know we've been going for a minute, but I mean, shoot, I'm happy that you made it on here. I'm actually going to be taking it even to a higher level, and eventually when Corona hits, we're going to have more of a forum type situation on Crucial Conversations, and we'll invite some other guys in, and then we'll talk about some of those things, and we'll start actually making plans right here on how to really do things. And we'll bring guys in with like minds, and then we can start making some real change instead of talking about it and start networking with people, get them on the podcast, and then also, you know what I mean, getting out in the community. Once this lifts, we need to be hitting it.
Active.
We need to be active.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
though we have done a good job of it. Like we are. But there's so much more that we can do.
Oh yeah, well
So
we're at
much
that
more.
level. We're at the level now.
Right.
Like when I heard somebody say what's going on with Tacoma basketball, I was like, you must not see what's going on.
Right.
Because I see it.
Right.
I see the guys that I went to battle with are all in position right now with coaching levels all over the city. All over the city. They're all here.
Right.
Everybody's involved. And
Now the collaboration piece comes.
when that collabo hits,
Right.
then the move's gonna get made.
There's so many guys that I've talked to throughout the years, though, about the collaboration piece, and it's just like, it just takes us all sitting down. And I've done it in pods, but until we get into the same room and start writing stuff down and start giving ourselves deadlines, that's when it'll all come to fruition.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen. That's
So it's
the next
coming.
move.
It's coming.
That's the next move.
It's coming.
That's definitely the next move, man. Well, shoot, man. We're going to get ahead here and wrap this up, man. This is probably like episode 1.5. You know what I mean? We might have to break this down into sections,
And
man.
this is just getting started, man.
Yeah, this is like a
just
warm-up
getting- this is a
conversation.
warm-up.
We can get into depth, so we're going to have to definitely run this back, man. I appreciate you coming through. Of
course.
I'll definitely we'll have to do something maybe every couple of months, just sit down, see how you're doing,
Yep.
see what's going on. Tell Lil Man I said what's up, man.
Man, he ain't small no more,
Yeah, that's
man.
what I'm saying. I seen the picture.
Damn.
I seen the picture, man. They're growing fast, so you know what I mean? Tell him I said what's up to the wife. I said hello, man.
Yep, I will. Same with you and the family, man.
For sure. So we're going to get out of it. Hey, once again, welcome to thank you for coming to Crucial Conversation. You know what I mean? Remember, the longest conversation you're going to have is a conversation with yourself. Make sure that it stays positive and you stay motivated. Self-motivation is the best motivation.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Start your day off right, end your day off right, man. Get your routine going. All right? And I'm gone.